Welcome to the Inner Circle Podcast, everyone. It's a gay old time today with our friend Honie. Welcome back. He's a woman. He's a man trapped in a woman's body. It's my girlfriend.
Wait, I'm the man trapped in a woman's body?
No.
Woman. Wait, man.
I'm a gay man trapped in a woman's
yes.
body.
Yeah. That part. There you go. Sheesh. I don't even know my own gay little things. And I'm Charlie, your host. Welcome to the Inner Circle Podcast. Another week. It looks like it's about, I don't know where y'all at. It looks like it's about to storm on my end over here.
It's cloudy.
And there is a Knicks game tonight, so we are competing versus what seems to be a World War something out there in las redes sociales and on TV and so on. But let's catch up. Honie, how you been? We haven't seen you in a while. How you been since the last time you've been on the show?
You guys gonna hear me? Hi. Oh my God, I miss you guys so much. I'm doing so good. Just, living, surviving. Summer's coming, so just trying to get this body as snatched as I can. Because, life is life, and you just seeing everything that's going on and moving so fast, you don't know what to do. Watching the Knicks was crazy, and they had Trump in the building. I think it was like having the school principal there, like Cardi B said. So just catching up on life. I feel like the principal is in my life at this time.
Not the pleasure principal.
I'm so mad about that. What a waste.
How you been, Melanie? How was your weekend? How you
Not
been?
well. No, I'm kidding. My weekend was good. I went to see my mommy. It was fun to it's fun to have my mom and her brother, my uncle, interact because they roast each other so bad. Like, it's hilarious. And yeah, spending time with her before she moves because she's moving to Georgia. Anyways, but no, my weekend was good. Can't really complain. Really sad that the Knicks lost the last game, but Knicks in 5.
Listen, I said it. That man being in that building.
He jinxed it. Did you see all the people with sage? They're saging like the arena today. And earlier there was a sister. You know what? I just found out that a sister and a nun are two different things. Anyway, there was a sister / nun at the arena sprinkling holy water. We're serious about our
No, seriously, I said it. I called it. We were in the chat where I said, "Yo, that man being there is gonna
it's gonna
it is a bad omen." And if they win tonight, which they will,
yes,
then it just proves my charmed powers. The devil was with us. But speaking of, well, I don't want to call him a devil. He looks funny, but Ariana Grande split from Ethan.
SpongeBob.
Yes.
He was SpongeBob on Broadway, wasn't he?
I am not surprised because that her new video, I'm not shocked. It's so funny that it comes after, not too long after the whole Wicked whole thing of it is over. She's about to release and go into an era of a whole new album. Her new song is Ethan coded. Some of her fans, when I commented this on blogs who reported about it, tried to they didn't, I didn't take that field, but try to say like, oh no, it's about her fans. She's singing to her fans about being gone. And I'm like, oh, okay, sure. I didn't even respond. Listen, I mean, I've learned so much in life not to always have to respond to things. So it's like, I'm like, okay, that's how you take it. That's your interpretation. I don't know if she said that in an interview. If that's the case, okay, it's to your fans. But I don't know if y'all heard the single.
I haven't heard it, but I've seen clips. She's on tour right now.
Yes.
And I've seen clips of her performing. I don't know what's going on. I don't like to body shame, but she doesn't sound the same like how she sounded before. Even her singing Thank You Next, she does. It almost seems like she doesn't have that energy to sing. I don't know if it's because she lost so much weight. I don't know, but it's not looking good. It's giving ED.
It
What do you
definitely is. It's more like I feel like she just experienced a lot of public scrutiny.
Yeah,
And like she's always getting kind of like the shitty end of the stick because she's the person who like takes the person's man. That's what she's known as, like the Scarlet Red kind of like girl. So it does suck. You know, it's sad to hear, you know, that she's going through a breakup. But you know what? She should have been on her own. She should have been healing. She should have been in like, you know, her single girl era. I did hear the new single because I am an Ari nader. I love her so much. And Eternal Sunshine, if you guys
yeah.
have better
so
tickets,
do so,
I encourage you to go. I am like going to the concert.
do you think it's about him? Did you listening to the words? I know you're a Pisces as well, so you go to the words. What were your thoughts when you heard the
I
lyrics?
I think that it's not only about him. I think he's definitely in a lot of if you could even hear it now and like how she's singing, you could tell like so that's why I agree with you, like Melanie, like her like because I've seen snippets of the tour. She's singing about him. She's sad, but like it's a lot. She's going through a lot. I think it's also the Cynthia Erivo thing. Like people were talking about like they were low key like together. So she's just it's a
Yeah.
But
lot.
isn't
Yeah,
Cynthia Erivo dating someone? Doesn't she have like a wife or something?
no, homegirl has like been like single. So when they like when the rumors came out during the Wicked kind of just like premiere
I
and
remember
like
hearing
them coming out, they like were talking about them kind of just like having like a platonic relationship, but just kind of like really like close and getting together like intimately to share lines. So homegirls, you know, this new song, I think it's a little bit of everything because she's coming out. And I think that this whole album is gonna be her finally just telling us what we all been waiting for, kind of just like those missing pieces, because we don't really know the scoop.
Wait,
Because
so you alluding or you saying that allegedly you think she's gay or going or in a ways tell us that she's coming out? I mean, the album is coming out in
so
July.
I
It is
wouldn't say
July.
allegedly because you know like we aren't anyone to like call anybody out, but I mean she was very close with homegirl. Like they both kind of like lost a lot of weight. You could tell when the rumors came out how they like quickly cleaned it up, swept it under the rug to kind of girl
Like
you
her
like you
constant holding hands. It was like it was giving like
Yeah, but
emotional
girls
support.
do that. I've seen different type of girlfriends, and like it could happen.
I listen. I love holding hands with my friends and stuff, but like
Like we've held hands and or walked on arm in arm.
yeah, but like Ariana and Cynthia Erivo give this like weird vibe. And allegedly, I'm gonna say allegedly because I don't want to get in trouble. There was a story or something like a rumor in the rumor mill that Cynthia Erivo is a home wrecker too. Like she wrecked someone's relationship. So I mean, birds of a feather.
I'm just not surprised that they split. I'm not surprised at all. And she even like hate that I mean, yeah, the song's about him. There's nothing more to say. That
she has a boyfriend every other album, a new boyfriend
yeah.
every other album. So you know every project is about somebody. Adele did it. She
And
had a
listen,
project about
for a song that's more on the more mid tempo, slower
What's the name of
side,
the song? Now I'm
hey,
curious.
hey, that I made you love
You
me.
Love Me, yeah.
Now that I've heard, now for a song that's more on the slower mid tempo side, I do like it. I like the lyric content of it, the hauntingness of it. Would it be something that I know I'm gonna outgrow quick? Yes. It's not gonna be one of my top summer songs. Absolutely not. I am obviously she's around Ariana Grande. Like I'm gonna give her new album a chance. I just do feel her last few albums there's only like two or three songs. I would say the last one, certain songs grew on me with time. Supernatural. Um, there was like two or three other songs that initially I didn't like, but grew on me with time. So, she's one of those artists for me that the songs grow with, for me with time. We'll see. I'll definitely check out the album. But an album that's coming out sooner, and I think this my drink tonight was very inspired. Her film that she dropped on Monday definitely got me excited. I was looking forward to it because she is bitch Madonna. So always for gays like me, I'm always gonna have an excitement and look forward to a new Madonna album. But this one, after the film, I'm even more excited because again, all artists, no matter their legendary status, have a hit or miss album. One of those albums that, okay, they weren't horrible, but they were forgettable very quick with the music consumption nowadays. Melanie, did you see the film? Did you hear the snippets? It's basically like a film slash snippets of like not all the songs of the album. She stopped at a certain point, but it got me excited. There's already a few songs I'm like,
Madonna's always been very cinematic. That's why she married Guy Ritchie. But I saw clips of it on TikTok. I didn't see the full entirety. I'm excited because I love Madonna. Confessions of a Dance Floor was the album. I think I played that shit over and over and over when I moved back to New York. But she's mother, and if this is going to be her last album, so to speak, like in her career, she got to go out with a bang.
Yeah. I mean, as long as she's alive, I don't think Madonna's gonna stop.
What's the name of the song? Danceteria?
Like the one I posted on our Inner Circle page on Instagram. If you're not following us, make sure you follow us on our Instagram page. That one?
Yeah.
Yeah, Danceteria.
Cute. I like it.
The one that I'm loving so far is track number 2, Good for the Soul. I just feel like I just can't wait to hear I'm excited for this album.
Now, do you think she's gonna go on tour?
Even track number 3 that follows, One Step Away, I like. Danceteria, I like. Read My Lips gives you Spanish vibes. It features a Spanish artist. You have to watch the film. But I'm like, okay, Madonna, Read My Lips. I could tell that's gonna be another one of my favorites. I'm excited. And all in all, the album has 16 tracks.
Do you think she's gonna go on tour?
Yeah. Madonna's a Leo. I truly believe, I know you said this might be her last album in her career. I truly believe as long as that woman's alive and kicking and has the will, she will produce music. A la Cher. Look at Cher. She just released a Christmas album like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Mind you, she's stiff and she's just doing certain performance.
Cher just turned 80.
I truly believe as long as Madonna is alive, being the Leo she is, she's same thing for the likes of Jennifer Lopez. Speaking of Jennifer Lopez and Madonna, oh, what a transition. Did you see Watch What Happens live? I knew this. As a Britney fan, I knew this from way back in 2004 when this happened. 3. That Jennifer Lopez revealed on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen that she originally and even rehearsed for what has become one of the most iconic VMAs performances ever with Madonna, Britney, and Christina, The Kiss, and Missy. Can't forget my girl Missy. Did you hear that? And are you shocked? I knew this from way back then. And another one that was considered was Pink as well, if y'all didn't know.
To be honest, I don't believe it because Madonna and J-Lo are not cool. Like, I don't believe it. I think those are rumors and she's just saying that shit because if that was the case, it would have came out a long time ago.
It did come out a long time ago. I knew this since 2000. As a Britney fan, reading magazines and the Britney fan sites from back then, I knew this. Jennifer Lopez was considered, and also Pink way before Christina Aguilera. Christina Aguilera performed later on that night with Dave Navarro. I believe, Dave Navarro. So she was a last minute.
Not Dave Navarro. The guy from Limp Bizkit, right?
No. That was for 2001. That's when she did the Come On Over thing. But when she performed in 2003, promoting the strip era. For Fighter. She was an afterthought. But originally it was Jennifer Lopez and Pink.
Well, I'm glad it was Britney and Christina because it made more sense. They're kind of like in the same realm. Honestly, if it wasn't Christina, I would even say Jessica Simpson would have been good. Yeah, because they're pop
Yeah,
music.
but Jessica was like always also a wholesome, and even still at that point, like the cookie cutter wholesome. She was married to Nick Lachey. There was
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like J Lo wouldn't. I don't think J Lo would have. It would have
fit in. You can't envision it.
I can't envision it, and like I'm glad that it turned out the way that it turned out. J Lo, you know, she's been promoting her new movie or whatever the hell she has going on. Like I don't really jump to go see whatever she's in.
Oh no, yeah, same. Even as a teenager when she released things, my mom, but like I never ran to like see her stuff. Some stuff, I'm not gonna lie, I've gone to some, maybe one or two, but she's not that type for me. Johanny, what do you think? Do you agree with Melanie where you think, you know, what we seen Britney and Christina, that was the right choice? Or do you actually could see like envision a J-Lo or even a Pink?
I definitely envision a Pink. Hearing the Pink like was considered definitely top notch. I don't see why they would have not picked her. She gives that kind of like rocker girl edge, and she was doing like R&B and stuff close to like that time, so she was still sexy. It would have made sense. As far as J-Lo, I feel like J-Lo don't get along with a lot of people, so I'm like, oh, okay, homegirl was considered. You know,
they even rehearsed. And she said that Madonna was playing the guitar, and that Madonna even said, you know, that the kiss was always planned. Like the kiss was a planned thing.
I need to see receipts because if it's not on video, then why bring it up 20-something odd years
Because
later?
Andy Cohen asked about it. She didn't on Watch What Happens Live decide to do it. Andy Cohen asked about it, and this goes back to what, again, I'm not trying to call myself but someone who, like, when I tell you, followed Britney, tooth comb, fan sites, this, that, magazines, everything, watch everything Britney, like, I know. It's not just me making it up either, because obviously the rumors are still living to the years. And it was asked, and she talked about it. I don't think she's that delusional narcissistic to make up a whole scenario either.
I think she is. I think she's a weirdo, but also like everyone always wants to reference Britney.
It's true out here.
Yeah, she's annoying and like she's very rude the way she talks to people. Now, one thing I will say that I agree with was her little Subway Takes interview where she said her take is in order to be a New Yorker, a real New Yorker, you got to be born here. Okay, cool.
Yes. Let's talk about that. What is your take on that? Because you had a take, and I'm like, well, girl, that means we were born in New York.
What's
your take? Explain your take so then I could add to your
take. So when someone is born in New York, has lived here for more than 10 years, knows their way around, has the accent, they are a New Yorker. They are a New Yorker. Now, a person who leaves New York, for example, like me, I left when I was in 8th grade, and I went to live in Florida for about 12, 13 years, I think, and then I moved back here. But during that time that I lived in Florida, I would come frequent and visit New York. I had family here. I never lost my accent. I know backwards and forwards. Like I was raised here. I went to high school or elementary school and middle school here. So technically, the New York never left. You could leave and come back and still be a New Yorker because you were born and raised here. And also at this point now, without giving up my medium age, I've been living here longer than I lived anywhere else. So that qualifies me as a New Yorker. But when people say, oh, I'm from Montana, I'm from California, and I've been living in New York for 10 years, but you've only lived in a part of the city and never like branched out or even fucking taken the Staten Island ferry, you're not from New York. You weren't even born here.
Johanny, you are born and raised in New York.
Yes, I am.
What's your take?
If you wasn't born and raised here, you're not from New York. I'm sorry.
No, okay, but if for the people who, so when you say raised, basically born and you lived here into adult life, never moved at any point from birth.
Yeah, I'm sorry. If your childhood was not in New York City, you aren't a New Yorker.
Exactly.
A New Yorker, the experience of a New Yorker starts as a child. You really get an intricate experience as a New Yorker, all the different things that you get to grow up into and have to deal with. And every generation of New Yorkers is different. So you could tell who's a New Yorker from a mile away. I recently went to Atlanta. Just by me talking, they knew I was a New Yorker. By the way I dressed, they knew I was a New Yorker. It's just a certain swag that we emulate that people you could try to replicate, but you can't imitate type of like vibe. And it I'm happy that y'all see, you want
No, I agree with you. I agree. My take is from birth all the way to at least 18. Like that's like a whole. Because you know what?
Not even. It doesn't have to be necessarily 18 because I left at like 12, 13. However, if you went to school here, middle school or elementary school, you took the bus or you took the train by yourself to go to school here.
You're a New Yorker, yeah, because you'll never forget. Once you take, and that's something that I think I've learned as a New Yorker. Once you take public transportation, I've been taking public transportation since the age of 8 years old by myself. Yeah. It's not like it's not hard for me. I could get lost and easily find my way back. You could send me. I went to Europe, and you guys know I went to Paris and London. The easiest thing was public transportation because I'm a New Yorker. Like that's what I know. So you need to have those experiences. Like a chopped cheese doesn't make you a New Yorker. Yeah, that's
exactly. Having a bodega order doesn't make you a New Yorker. Like you have to at least have some years, like childhood years here. But for example, Charlie, I know like we were both born in the same hospital 3 years apart. We're both from the Bronx. You also lived in a state here in the East Coast that like is not that far from New York, but you also used to come back and forth and visit your grandma.
Yes, no, and absolutely. I spent summers here. I went to summer camp like when I moved back from Puerto Rico. I was here every summer, whether it was my cousin Poochie. Shout out to my cousin Poochie, love you. Bringing me over for the summers in the Boogie Down Bronx, where I had my girlfriend Madeline. I remember her and everything. She was a fine little young thing. I really did have a girlfriend named Madeline. Like I spent every summer here in New York. Christmases, like I was here a lot. So I get that, but I feel like I still say I'm a New Yorker. It's where I've lived, like you said, we've lived most of our lives here than anywhere else for the most part. Is where we identify as well, because again, we had that back and forth here with family that's still rooted, born, raised here.
How long have you been living here? Since 20 what?
Now at this point, 7. It's like on and off, but that's the thing. I've been in New York on and off. Where then I may move somewhere for like a year or two.
Yeah, so I know. But like I was gonna say, not to call you out on your age, girl, but it's been a lot more than 10 years. So there you go.
Yeah. No, but all these other what we call transplants, like I agree with Jennifer Lopez, but also, what's another like deeper thought that went through me when she said that, really like dissecting it. Also, like my thing is, but it happens because I see it. I do see it all the time, and I've heard it. But I feel like true New Yorkers also should be able to like go to all boroughs and not be like, oh, I've never been to Queens. I would never go to Queens. Or I don't know. Like,
fun fact, I lived in every borough.
Really?
Every borough. And then also lived in Long Island because I always used to say I consider Long Island a little baby cousin of New York because it's Long Island, New York. Like.
No, but the only borough I haven't lived in myself, I would say, as an adult without family, is Queens.
Yeah, no, I live.
I'm open to it.
I've been to every borough. I lived in the Bronx, unfortunately. I lived in, obviously, this is the same thing this is what I mean when people are like, oh, you were born and raised in the Bronx, but I consider myself an inward girl. Like I'm a Heights girl because my family has been living here since I was born in the same area vicinity. Even when I lived in Florida, I would come to visit, and I would stay in Dykeman.
I consider us New Yorkers. I'm sorry. Like
And
anyone who
I
want to be
don't
like,
think, yeah, I can't. And to be honest, like as much as I have like a Florida number, like I was raised in Naples, Florida. However, if I were to go to Naples right now, I won't know shit. I
I'm
won't know
surprised
where
you
to
never.
get around. What?
I'm surprised you never changed that number.
I never changed it because it was my first phone number ever. And like I felt like if I was gonna change it, I would want to have like a 917 number, and those are gone.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I want to keep it.
She
But
living a Sex in the City fantasy 917.
right, and like I had to switch. I switched my driver's license from Florida to New York.
Yes.
So that's good enough. But I'll keep my 239.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like I was like raised when I was younger in the Bronx. I would take the BX9 to Home Street to my school. But I don't know the Bronx like that. I know the Heights and Inwood a lot more.
I love all boroughs.
Yeah, I'm a New Yorker at heart. Like
I really love
I could go to any borough.
Yeah.
I know where some of the hot spots are. I know people. I got family. I'm one of those people that you call a real New Yorker. Like my stomping ground started in Brooklyn, from Brooklyn to Queens, from Queens to Manhattan, from Manhattan to Staten Island, all the way down to the Boogie Down Bronx, to freaking Long Island, to New Jersey, to PA, to Connecticut, you name it. Like
You name it.
like New York's in there. Like I'm a New Yorker really at heart.
Also,
So here in J-Lo,
let's not forget like places beyond the boroughs like Yonkers, New Rochelle, Westchester.
Listen,
Like
I love too that. Like when I went to pick up my baby, my Gizmo, I drove through parts of New York that was like, oh wow, like you think you're in the South, like.
There's a lot of suburban areas up there.
yeah, you go to Nutley, New York. It definitely is a whole
Nutley is
different
nice.
ball game. Like, and people down there will tell you with heart that they're a New Yorker, and you like, you're not a New Yorker. You
Or like we also said, like you said, Long Island.
yeah, like and that's, I think that's what makes New York New York. It's not only just the city. It's a duplex of things. So that's why I was like just hearing J-Lo say a comment, but she was just like so out of touch just a few weeks ago talking about an orange pop. Like, girl,
Right.
you know we was not calling none of that orange pop. Mad people was calling you out, making fun of you. You the last person.
Yeah,
The Bronx community don't even want to accept you, J-Lo.
we
boo.
sure
So
don't.
sit down and sit this one out. Don't make no comments. I
Wait,
know
what do you guys think of people? What do you guys think of people that have like when you ask them where you're from and they say New Jersey / New York City?
I laugh at those people because you need to claim one or the other. I've lived in New Jersey, and I lived in New Jersey for almost 6 years.
Yeah, you did live.
Jersey is a completely different ball game from New York. It's a lot of people who think that they were New Yorkers at some point of time, but then it changed because when you leave an environment and you accustom yourself to something new, you become that new environment. So there's these people who have the New York attitude, but now you're not New York, boo. You from Jersey. Don't get that.
Well, it's also people that like they live in New Jersey but work in New York, so they think that they're like there's a correlation there.
But no, boo, you from Jersey.
Like, and also you could live in Jersey and have been raised in New York, but I'm sorry, you're in Jersey now. And I used to say that to my mom all the time, like, yeah, you can be repping New York because you're in Jersey now. You're licensed.
I love Jersey.
No, but they can still say I'm from New York originally because in this case, for example, for the transplant that moved here, and let's say now they're, excuse me.
Yeah, they could say that they're from New York, but like if you're on a dating app or if you're like on your Instagram putting New Jersey / NYC, you don't live in the border. You don't live in the fucking Holland Tunnel. You don't live in the fucking. You don't live in the Meridian, whatever. Like, you live in Jersey. Just say that. Like, it's not that deep.
Yeah, that's cringe to me. That's why my face said it all when you asked. I'm like,
That's
"Oh." If you're watching, if y'all listening, my face.
People be thirsty to be New Yorkers, and we can't lie. It's the truth. People be thirsty to wear the bamboo earrings. I just saw a video on TikTok of a girl making fun of the New York style, saying it's always an edgy New York girl, thinking that she's like the it girl with the snapback and the little tie thing with the tank top and the bamboo earrings with some cute heels,
yeah.
thinking she's stunting. But that's our style. Girls fight to emulate that. Like they study us to emulate that.
Yeah, you
My
know what upsets me? Like all the like the 90s and early 2000s fashion. I feel like when a girl like me or someone darker wears it, it's almost seen like she's an around the way girl. But if a white girl from West Village or fucking financial district somewhere, but like a transplant wears door knockers and like a Yankee fit and stuff, oh my
it's
gosh, she's so
fashion.
edgy, she's so fashionable.
Mm-hmm.
Why isn't it the same for me when I'm the one that like was
Girl,
inspired?
I'm the blueprint.
I think it's changing. I think it's changing, especially for the city. For those girls, is how they wear it and how they carry themselves.
It's
And I
because
think it's
people are
changing.
calling. A lot of people are calling people out and holding people accountable. That's why I'm like, let's hold J Lo accountable because you shouldn't be making those comments, girl. You know you're not a real New Yorker. You haven't been a real New Yorker since what 1990 something.
Exactly, when she was on the six in the 90s. But you know what? I speak from experience because that happened to me when I was in school. When I went to FIT, all these white girls, or they don't necessarily all have to be white, but like they would dress like they were from New York and they would dress with the aesthetics. Fine, fashion is for everyone, but don't compliment yourself and then say that it doesn't look right for someone who is from an urban area. I don't know.
They take
Everyone,
my everyday look and feel like they can make it artistic. Because
exactly.
every day I wore bamboo earrings throughout my early 20s. And Charlie, you know, I wore all types of hoops, all type the
Mhm.
blueprint. We the blueprint. And it's okay. They
All
want
right.
to take the New York swag.
Well, listen. One of moving on. Listen, we all New York. All three of us. There's no more
We real New York.
NYC than us. Um, but moving on, it's time for a special part before we start to lose the audience. I mean, if y'all listen to us afterwards, we're streaming us on Apple, Spotify, iHeart, one of the many places we stream on. It won't be live, but now we're going versus the next game that's starting. So we're going to get to our special time and get into a special segment we don't do often, but however, we have special guest, friend of the show now, Honie with us, and we thought we bring a segment back that we haven't done in a while. We usually do during anniversaries and such. Ask the Circle. We've had questions saved from past Ask the Circles we never use because I write everything down you guys send. Um,
Oh boy.
New questions you guys sent. So here we are. What I did was I don't even know myself what's going to be asked. What I did was I sent our friend Johanny a certain number of questions, and Johanny himself is going to pick 5 questions for Melanie and myself to answer. So here we are. It is time for. Let me see if I don't.
Ask the
Well,
circle.
it is time for Ask the Circle.
So let's see if I pick some juicy questions for the fans to know.
There better
So
not be nasty questions.
I wish there was. But this one I really, really like. Is there an ex you would get back with?
Oh,
Absolutely
that's where
not.
it's starting. No,
I don't
no.
look back. If we broke up, it's for a reason, and I don't like to double back in a sense. Like I don't have hate for any ex. I just don't see myself in that mindset to ever be. No, I can't.
Where I'm at, there's not a particular like. If the question was is there someone that you dealt with that never materialized into something that you would give a chance to? Yes, that would be a yes. But Is there an ex I will get back with? No. And the same as Melanie, there's no hate. Listen, I've been through a transitional period with a lot of self realizations for myself and such, where I don't blame endings on anyone. It's life lessons. I've also played parts in these things, and this is part of like some healing and what I hope brings me to my next true thing. So, no hate, like Melanie said, or whatever, but no, there's not an ex I will get back to. I
I
will
wonder
maintain
who asked my
friendships.
question.
I don't mind maintaining friendship. I did. Is there some exes that I would be cool with maintaining some type of core, friendship, whatever with? Sure, you know, keep it cool and kosher, but not get back with. No.
Not me.
Keep the pedal to the metal and keep it pushing,
Yeah.
honey.
Mhm.
I'm like a horse. I have tunnel vision.
So my next question is, who's the biggest shade assassin?
Ooh, wait, but you see, I didn't understand that. Like on the show or in general?
Well, that's the question, and now I'm curious to know.
And is it for each? And I didn't understand that either. If we
Yeah. So who's the biggest shade? And I guess it would be on the podcast. Who do you think is the biggest shade assassin?
I don't know. You could be shady, but I don't think on the podcast you go that hard as I know you could go hard.
I'm gonna say me because I have demolished other podcasts based on shady responses I've made.
I was gonna say you both throw a mean fair share, because when I come on, I'll be talking, I'll be spewing, but sometimes you both throw a mean fair
but
share.
what? With age and with time, I've like chilled out. Shout out SSRIs, but I feel like I could be more of a shadier palm tree than Charlie, because sometimes I gag him with the shit that I say. So yeah, I'll own it.
I'll let her
have a refined way of reading.
I'll let her have it.
Another question that I really, really wanted to know was, when do you not feel authentic?
I don't feel authentic when I feel that I need to curtail my honest opinions about something because I know they will not be reciprocated. They will not be received properly. Like if someone asks me for advice or opinion or whatever, and I know that the advice that they're looking for is not what I want to say, that's when I feel inauthentic.
How about you, Charlie?
Inauthentic when I didn't expect that one.
That's a deep question, I know. And
inauthentic. If I'm pertaining to the podcast.
Oh, does that have to be pertaining to the podcast?
No, I'm relating it to there because again, sometimes when these questions are sent in, it's interpretation. You know what I mean? The way you read it, the way you take it, and sometimes people, the way it's sent in or asked is not like.
Elaborate.
No shade, but like, no, not full sentence or like not, full sentence question.
No, I was gonna say like maybe unauthentically. I've had moments where like we've had a guest that they have something coming up that they're promoting, and like I didn't do my full research on it because life be lifing, and Charlie does the research and Charlie carries the show, and I'm just there like being, the background, the extra oohs and ahs, but I don't feel authentic. I just feel like, I'm here to hear what you have to say in my platform.
Podcast wise, inauthentic.
I got one for you.
Okay, not any. Listen, I feel now more free to speak about things, but back then when there was other co-hosts and stuff, just certain things like. Where I can't really give an opinion about politics stuff because politics / gay stuff, like obviously being a proud gay man, I'm going to speak on this. So I don't know. It's back then. It was more back then. But now I feel more free to speak on things. But I will say there are things that I sometimes think like, listen to other podcasts, because there's many shows and podcasts about different areas and stuff. And when people ask me what's the Inner Circle podcast about, I say we're a podcast about a little bit about everything, and I truly mean that, because the way Charlie is, this mind, I love a little bit about everything, and I'm someone who will try a little bit of everything before I say no, or so I could say, listen, I tried it, but I don't like it. No, thank you. So that's the way my mind works. So with that being said, there's certain things that and maybe this is me sharing it for the first time with Melanie here, but that I'm like, oh, I would love to explore this. But knowing my best girlfriend, I'm like, I don't think she would.
Well, you also have the ability to like talk it with me and like go over and be like, I kind of.
And that's why we have great communication. Listen, off the podcast, that's another thing that makes this show go great and it runs well, is that we really communicate. Like, I throw her ideas, whether it be about the show topics, guests, this, that, we communicate.
And sometimes some of his ideas are great, and sometimes they're like, I have to like step back and think and say, well, is it worth talking about this because X, Y, Z? And he critiques it. But at the end of the day, I don't think that there's anything I wouldn't want to talk about unless.
Well, I'm a sexual person, so sometimes I like to I want to delve deeper into some taboo topics.
True, and I don't mind doing that. However, to protect you, because of like
my line of duty.
Yes, I'm like, yeah, no, I could talk about it. Hello, but
we should do a Patreon. Like, come on, people, support us.
I love it. The fourth question I have, and this one I genuinely like. When I saw this question, I really enjoyed it. What are some pros and cons of being a host of the podcast?
I love that question. I wonder who sent that in. That's such an amazing question. I think one of the pros is obviously spending quality time and bonding with my best friend. There are things that we discuss, whether it's like current topics, hot topics, or like personal testimonies that I learn about him every day. Just because you know someone for many years doesn't mean that you know them in and out and like everything that's on their mind. So that's one cool thing, or a con. Or no, a pro. Sorry, a pro. A con, I would say, when it's Mercury retrograde and we have like bad audio issues, or like sometimes I feel if it were up to me, I would have no guest on. I would have no guest because I'm such a like
ever.
Yeah, because I'm such a freak when it comes to like I want things to go. I'm such a perfectionist. I want things to come a certain way, and I feel like I get disappointed if I'm looking forward to like having a guest on and they suck, or they don't want to talk about certain things, or they just like are not giving the energy that we want.
I hear that. It has happened, and we've talked about it too.
Oh yeah, it has, and I threw their ass on.
Having guests though, it's with how I look at the podcast and the growing of a podcast. You have to have guests. You know what I'm saying? You have to, promote other people. That's part of the showbiz, baby. It is. But what I also do love about guests is that where we've had some cons, we've had pros. We've had people that we, hit it off with that we didn't even think we would hit it off with. People that we've actually formed friendships with. People that I, in my wildest lifetime, and even her, like growing up on MTV and like real world people, like MTV, there's been some dope guests and some like, thank you moments, like thank you God, like, like even when you start like doubting yourself in the podcast, like I think of those certain things and people and guests that I'm like, you know what, we've done our thing.
So what's your pros and cons?
My pros. My pros and cons of having a pro. Pros is I get to do, and it's funny enough, a coworker of mine, asked me about the podcast and stuff, and we started getting into it. And she was inquisitive. She wanted to know. Pros is that I get to do something I love. like this is truly a passion of mine. Like talking pop culture, just talking what's on my mind and the many things that flows through my minds and ideas and connecting with people and seeing how other people think and similarities, etc. Like this is truly a passion of mine. Since I was a kid, the hosting, pop culture, it's a love of mine. It's something that's just has always lit me up and I've escaped into as well since a child. So that's a pro. And that I'm finally doing it because this girl right here, as my best friend, knows this is something I started finally talking about and presented back in like 2006, 17, 16. And
I think I gifted you like a little podcast set.
Yeah. And, I was green and technology and all this stuff, but thank God for time.
Shout out SoundCloud, because that's where the original tapes are, in SoundCloud.
Right. So that's a pro. A con. A con is, and something I've thought about lately, now that I'm a single man, going into this shitty dating world that we have nowadays, people, that being a host, because I know on my personal page, it's there, part of my bio, that sometimes may be a red flag for some people.
Being a podcaster is a red flag.
I mean, when you look podcast and then you may click our page, like, and you see what we do, the influencer, the promoting, the traveling, so he's a influencer, so he's doing this, so he wants to do.
I'm so happy that I'm dating someone that's so supportive. Like, I feel like whoever rejection is protection. Exactly. Whoever has a problem with that, at the end of the day, that just says so much about you and so little about the type of person you are, and in the sense of being supportive. Like, I'm so glad that I don't have that issue.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, I ain't gonna lie, Charlie. You know me, I feed your delusions and I love being here because it's like me and you. But sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm so tired. I just want to go to sleep. I don't want to do the podcast. But then I bring my ass over here and we just talk, and I'm like, let's do it again.
This was me today. You heard I was drained today.
Yeah. I rolled out of bed, honey. But
no, seriously,
at the end of the day, I will say you keep me going, which is like something that I need. Like, if you have any stability in your life, have it be like some sort of hobby, because that will keep your mental health like on check. And I consider this to be part of one of those things. Obviously, Charlie knows that I'm not the type of person. I'm very behind the scenes, very private citizen. Like, I will say as much as I want to, but at the end of the day, it's his show, it's his baby, and I'm just here to support.
Oh, that's so sweet. Well, with that being said, it's Pride Month, and this is my final question. It says, advice on coming out, quotation question.
Wow.
So happy Pride Month. I like whoever wrote that question.
Pride, people love.
Be who you are.
I can give you my opinion as an ally. I feel that the hump of coming out, and I can't, I don't have the experience. I never went through it. I know I have friends that have been comfortable enough with me to, come out, or I've had friends that till this day are still in the closet, or, living a double life.
Put in the closet. Hi, Michael.
I think that in today's world, it's a little bit easier. However, I say that as a person who lives in New York, that lives in a very progressive place. Yeah. Not every place in the world is as progressive as and lucky as we are. And it takes a lot. You just have to have a great support system to come out. What about you?
You saying that it's this is hard as well. When I received this, I'm like, okay, should I include that as part of like the X amount of numbers of questions? Because when I did come out, I was living in the tiniest state in the U.S., Rhode Island. And this is why again, if you go back and ask all those people, a lot of them will be like, he always said, when I get old enough, I'm gonna get out of here and go back to New York. Go back to New York. A lot of people will say that. People that I went to high school with, my brothers would attest to that a lot, because that's something that I kept saying I was gonna do as soon, because I never belonged. I never felt I belonged in Providence, Rhode Island. No hate, no shade. You know, I'm thankful for the years. This used to be my playground for those years. But you know, I just never belonged. There's just some places where you know you don't fit. With that being said, you know, I did come out there. I started the first gay straight alliance in my high school with my best friend at the time. Um, I'm thinking back and visioning myself from 10th grade. I came out in the middle of 10th grade to my close knit friends in high school. Then it came later on to my mom in high school, and that was a contentious relationship in high school. And I'm not gonna get into details because we can save that for another show. But all in all, I was still proud. I had one of the best conversations I had with my dad, although like growing up, I didn't feel he was supportive and I thought he would be anti-gay. But the conversation when I finally came out was totally different than I expected with my dad. So for me, even though it was contentious a little bit with my mom, like my mom still came around and loved me. Like it wasn't as horrible for me as it could be for other people. So with that, I say it's all situational, and I get it. Like Melanie said as well, because I'm someone who's like, oh, okay, I see that perspective. You know, if you're from like Nebraska, Idaho, like Minnesota, like some boondock, I get it. It's not gonna be as easy to be like, I'm loud and I'm proud. But it also takes cojones, and I'm just blessed that for me, I'm still alive and safe. And I still had cojones, whether it was Rhode Island or a city, I still had cojones because to come out and express that you are different from what society has placed us to be, because this is all man-made shit, society shit, these rules and expectations. This is all brainwashed shit. Because if we was just free how we were supposed to be, this wouldn't be happening. Unfortunately, this is the world we live in. Just be free, no matter what your outcome is.
I think the hardest part about coming out for the, all my people coming out in June, coming out to yourself is the hardest part. Everything else is easy. I'm going to drop a cute little word for y'all just so y'all hear that again. Coming out to yourself is more harder than you coming out to anybody else, because once you realize the innocence is gone, because now you realize that you are different from everyone else. And now, because you view yourself different, you know that everyone else is viewing you different. And you start to hear those things. So I was a little kid growing up in church. And so, I never needed to come out. I was always out. I think everyone always knew. Everyone just always was in denial, because growing up, certain things in society wasn't okay. At 18, I got kicked out because I wanted to be gay. I decided to leave church. I used to go to high school, lip gloss in high school, all throughout school. And when I was outside, you didn't see any of that. It was only me walking through the buildings with the lip gloss. So I think once I realized myself that, hey, you're different, this is who you are, that was the hardest part, because it's a lot of tears, a lot of kind of like an onion you gotta peel. So listening to you, Charlie, kind of like that's what I got. You like peeled yourself as an onion to get to know who you are. And I think like that's the hardest part. And then just touching like what you said, Melanie, just as an ally, it just coincides.
And let's have a conversation now that we're going in, not long, but like to add to that as well.
Yeah.
It's something I felt. It's just like, it's not something you choose. I knew since little, when you're a baby, whatever. You don't really, I guess, you remember certain things or whatever. I don't remember being at a supermarket stealing Kool-Aid packets while I was sitting in the thing. That's what something my cousin told me I did. Like they would get home and find the Kool-Aid packets in my coat.
You little ladrón.
Didn't we talk about this on the podcast not too long ago? I didn't know this, but once your brain does start formulating, when you start thinking and what you like, what you don't, whether it's food, what you're watching, what you're playing with, what
Mhm.
you like, what you don't. From a young age, if you want, if the people like from a young age, I knew watching soap operas as a little 5, 6 year olds when finally you start formulating like, oh, pretty, cute. I was looking at the guys like cute,
Sweat dripping
like
down, and
hot,
I was like
and
this,
then
7 years old.
yeah, but then when you also hear this is you as your person in your brain, but then you start hearing the norms, the society, your parents, your family, friends. Oh, gay, no, it's supposed to be boy and girl. And you're like, but wait
Oh,
a
don't
minute.
wear pink.
You
But
can
wait
have
a
a
minute.
Barbie.
So as a kid, it's mind trippy. And yes, like
Mhm.
you said, you're suppressing. So you're like, oh, wait, I feel this way, but I can't be this way. And this is from like 5 when my since I could remember. So you suppress all that and you try to hide it. Because even though, like, I know I could say this, I remember I must have, as a kid, had like gay mannerisms. And sometimes I think to myself now as an adult, I'm like, Charlie, like, you're not the most, feminine because that's a whole different conversation to a topic and great conversation to talk about feminine, masculinity, whether they're gay culture and how we also treat each other, whether they're gay culture. But we'll say that for another good day.
Well, I
Um,
have a question about this. How do you? I mean, it's a perfect timing because Joanny is here. What What do you guys say, or what advice or thoughts do you guys have if you have, as gay men, know someone that is gay but is kind of like a naysayer in the sense where like they partake being a gay man. They acknowledge it, but they don't acknowledge it to the point where their family knows. It's almost like a double life.
I've dated someone like that, and it's honestly probably one of the most difficult things I've went through in my life. That's one of my heartbreaks. He was the first person to kind of like break my heart. He had like 1 foot in and 1 foot out, and that kind of just it sucks because you kind of watch from the inside out, because it's not the outside in, because you're in a relationship with someone like this, and you kind of see them actively hide their life,
Yeah.
actively, hide you from people. Like it's only a limited of number of people who can know, like only this person can know, and like I need to know something about them, and it's always the paranoia. It sucks. You go through a lot. My advice to the young, gay people now, especially if you're watching the Inner Circle podcast, don't date DL. Don't think about it. Don't do it. It's down low. And
there's
that's
levels, though. There's levels of DL. There's DL because I've seen that, and then there's people who
like
are
I
discreet.
but
think
maybe
that
not
the ones,
selective to.
well, I think
But
those
there's
are more dangerous. I feel like the ones that have like they're out, you could tell that they're gay, but they hide it from like
Certain
close, like family and stuff, because you're never going to commit to being like your
Well,
full.
to answer your question, for me, it's I've dated a few people like that. I've been some have still showed me around their family and brought me around where I'm like, yo, your family knows, and the family knew. With that in hindsight, and at my age now, and with just again life and introspectiveness, yes, those people. What that has taught me is those people, and obviously because I'm not with those people, is that those people will never really commit. Although with one of those people that I'm thinking about, I was around their family, I met all their family, and I was immersed in every family function.
Yeah.
The fact that you still could not admit to your family that I'm your lover, that to me in hindsight says I would never have a certain position in your life for sure. And that's just an example with that person. So to answer that question, so it depends. For me, it's taught me is like if they're not gonna be out and introduce you to everyone as who you are, that's not a
Now,
safe.
my last and follow up question, and this is going to be controversial. Do you think people like that should celebrate Pride?
no. Pride is for the people who really be who you are. For your pride, that's who pride is. Pride is for. Pride is not for you to. It's not Halloween. Don't come out and be fake.
Yeah.
Don't put on
But
the
what do you mean? Like the DLs, Ls, or like let's say
I,
again, there's levels. There's
I
people who are
You
DL who
tell
are
me. You tell me.
I think anybody, especially like right now, I have a huge and I'm gonna say vendetta. Allegedly I have a vendetta against the gay people who say I'm gay, but I don't celebrate pride and I don't fuck with that gay shit and I don't do the rainbows because I believe in Christ and I don't do the because gayness is a sin and I'm just gonna I'm trying. I don't want to hear none of that. You gay, you like it, it is what it is. Deal with it. You shouldn't be allowed to celebrate something that people fought for and died for. You know, for you to come and enjoy and steal all the good kind of just like fruits of labor of all those people who put in that hard work for a beautiful experience. And let me not get started with all the transplants who are now making kind of just like the scenery more prude than what it needs to be. And that's another subject for another day. But that would answer my question. I don't think to answer your question. I don't think they should be able to celebrate. It's just not fair to us. We don't deserve that.
I think different. It depends on the level. If you are hiding it from everyone, co-workers, friends, family and stuff, but yet you're in pride, that's different. If you're just hiding it from certain people, um, again, my personal opinion is be who you are fully. I still think it's kind of fake. But if you're out to most people, but maybe just particularly your family for whatever reason, and I get it with family, a lot of us, whether gay, straight, thing, we hide certain things because it's family. You can still celebrate. Like I said, it's level. So that's for me. That's my opinion.
I,
On it.
I, I respect it. I respect it. You love everybody.
It is time for one of our favorite things at the end of the show. Nope, not today. Melanie, what is your nope, not today?
My nope not today is the orange man coming to the Knicks game. And not only because the Knicks lost, and I feel like he's a huge jinx, from a business standpoint, it affected me because all the restaurants and bars in the surrounding area had to close. The amount of money and revenue that New York City would have made having those restaurants open and having, people watching the games and stuff would have brought more, joy. Not only that, but like business to New York, which trickles down to hospitality. So that's my nope, not today. I'm very upset by that. And not again.
My note, not today, is listen, maybe some of those restaurants and such wouldn't have been closing if people wouldn't be acting like animals in the streets of New York City. It's a sport, and this is why call it stereotypical, especially during Pride Month. Of there's a lot of gays who do love sports, and I know a good friend of mine who loves basketball. But this is why some stereotypical gay men like me don't care or give a shit about sports because the nonsense that you see in the streets when a sport team wins, whether wins or lose, burning trash cans, getting on ambulances who are trying to transport. You never know who they're trying to transport. Jumping on cars, demolishing shit, like breaking shit. It's so fucking animalistic. And this is why I can't stand the whole sport thing. Shout out for the people who do. I could care less for it because it's just this is how we act. Nope, not today. Johanny, what's your nope, not today?
My coincides with both of you guys perfectly. My nope not today is keep your hands, feet, and mouth, nose, eyes, ears, and everything to yourself because Johanny walks with a taser, pepper spray, a little poker, brass knuckles, and a pair of keys that will safety your ass down until the police get there. If I want to wear a Spurs jersey, you let me wear a Spurs jersey. If I want to wear Lakers, you let me wear Lakers. We got so many festivals coming up. June is such a packed month with the Knicks, Pride, Puerto Rico. My brain is all over the place. It's such a happy time to be gay. Nope, not today. Just keep your hands to yourself because we want to have a good time. New York already has a bad rep with the crime rates. We don't need you coming here and adding anymore. If you came from Oklahoma and you love the Spurs so much, just don't wear no Spurs shirts down in our block because you're going to get your ass beat. I tried to warn my people, but my people don't listen.
Well, also, I need the YNs and the YBs to stop arguing, stop fighting. Like, there's no reason for you guys to be acting so rulai and acting wilding out. It's not fair. You're making your generation look so bad. We already don't like you. You guys are doing too much. Like, there needs to be more sportsmanship, and the way that they're acting is like devouring the freaking city. The World Cup is coming, and the World Cup is not even catered to young people like that. So they need to chill out. That's more catered to like older people. So
I say it again.
I love that word. It's one of my favorite
Charlie
words.
and Melanie walking with me, and you want to hurt us, you will get tased. You will get pepper spray.
And with that being said, you've been warned. And you've also been warned to check us out every Wednesday. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe, rate. We appreciate it. A subscription is free. And we will see you guys same place, same time next week. Adios.
Thank you for watching. Make sure to follow, like, share, subscribe, everything the Inner Circle Podcast. And catch us every Wednesday live at 8 p.m. on YouTube and Facebook.